And now, download Thursday with Markette Smith.
You know, with technology, it's often the case, out with the old and in with the new. But when it comes to disposing of old laptops and computers and electronics, did you know that doing so could pose a serious threat to the environment? The City of Greenbelt's Recycling Center is working to get the word out by organizing a community event to encourage e-cycling. It's like recycling, but involves an environmentally friendly way of getting rid of old gadgets. First things first, why is there a need to recycle electronics differently than any other thing that you throw away?
Well, the importance of recycling electronics instead of like plastic or paper or other items like that is that electronics have materials in them that are harmful for the environment, like heavy metals and, other types of metals that we want to keep outside of the landfill.
So it could seep into the landfill and then into the soil and into our water supply?
Exactly. It can go into the water, into the soil, and some of these things can be volatile if there's mercury in them.
There's actually Environmental Protection Agency guidelines for recycling these. And can you just tell me a little bit about that?
Yes. We make sure at the City of Greenbelt that the vendors that we take our electronics to comply with all rules and regulations, and those include state EPA standards, OSHA standards, ISO standards, and also Unicor, the place where we're taking our recyclables now, also has a zero landfill policy. So they try to process everything and everything to be recycled or reused so that nothing goes into the landfill.
So tell me about this upcoming event. I know 4 times a year you hold community recycling events, and you have one coming up. Tell me all about that.
That's right. So we have quarterly events. The next one is April 30th, and we are accepting all kinds of electronics for recycling: computers, radios, TVs, monitors, mice.
And the next event will be held Saturday, April 30th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Department of Public Works on Crescent Road. And last time, Greenbelt collected more than 23,000 pounds of electronics.
Wow, that's a lot.
It really
Isn't it?
And Greenbelt, I know, is just one. The county does some of these events, the state as well.
And the person who you saw in the video, she said, we're not just limited to Greenbelt residents. Anybody who wants to come and get rid of some old.
Before you go, I want to ask you, I have a couple old cell phones lying around. Will they take those?
Well, one thing they said, if the cell phones are not working, then bring them. But if they are working, you can drop them off at the police station, and they will donate them to women's shelters and things like that, people who are really in need of communication devices. So there's a lot you can do with cell phones as well.
And I understand there's a way to tell if some of these can be recycled.
Yeah, well, I guess there's an old adage, if it plugs in, then you need to e-cycle it. But there is a list of all of the things that you should e-cycle and not just put in your regular curbside recycling bin on the City of Greenbelt's website. So check that out.
All right.
Okay.